This one is a bit of a mixed sort of show for October because I've had a lot of shit happen this month that I kind of need to want to talk about. But I have been getting up to some scouty stuff as well. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the usual hill talky side of it, and then I'll just have to share my shitty news. Um, so for this episode, I thought I'd talk about the Hardie Webster competition that we went on with the Scouts at the start of September. If I start coughing or sneezing throughout this, I apologise, but I am suffering from a major dose of the cold. So I'm doing my best, and I really want to get a show done, so I'll just need to power through. So yeah, at the Hardie Webster, what the Hardie Webster is for the scouting section in Inverclyde is a competition camp where we teach the guys how to build their own campsite, build their own sort of camp gadgets, do some like safety stuff with them, like axe skills, saw skills, learn some first aid, learn some pioneering skills, and meet some of the other scouting sections from around the area. It's usually a competition because it hasn't been on for the last 5 years. This one was used as a sort of learning camp for everybody, including the leaders, which I was one of. I was really surprised by my scouts because they don't really usually show that they're got a lot of interest in this sort of thing. But I think because there was a lot of people there, a lot of new people showing them how to do stuff, they were a lot more engaged in the competition, and they did really well. We outnumbered everybody by a good few. We had 13 scouts in total. And we did some cooking. We did a lot of building of the campsite. Everybody set up their own tents. We set up a kitchen tent. And it was really great to see everybody kind of chipping in and learning and enjoying themselves. And we even had some good feedback at the end of it. I also went on a camping trip with the Cubs section to Finleystone Estate, which was absolutely amazing. That was run by Alan, who we've had on the show before. So this was like the weekend after the Hardie Webster, so 2 weekends in a row I was out camping. We did sort of similar things. We had a massive campfire. We did some bivvy building. We had like a blind maze. We even did a treasure hunt as well, which I set up, which was really fun. And we did a night hike with them as well. Also got to try out my new walkie-talkies, which we'd bought for the scout section, so that was fun. But all in all, it was a great wee camping weekend, or pair of camping weekends, should I say? So yeah, it was a great start to September. As for my shitty news, so as most people know, I've got a few dogs. One of my dogs is a greyhound. His name's Rocky. We sadly had to put him down last week because he was losing a lot of weight. He wasn't being able to hold his bladder at all in the house, and he was barely able to walk the length of himself. Last Tuesday, he had an accident in the living room, and I had to carry him up the stairs to the shower. And while he was in the shower, he collapsed on me. So I obviously jumped in the shower to try and get him back up, and then we got him back up, but we just kind of knew looking at him it was time. I'd already booked annual leave for that week because I knew I had a feeling it was going to happen. So, so it's not been easy. I'm not going to lie. He was one of my best mates, and I miss him like every fucking day. Yeah. I've never had to put a dog down before, but he was essentially my first dog because I do have two others. I've got Lily, who's 13, and Bud, who is nearly 3. And Lily is older, but she was already Susie already had her when we first started going out. So not that I don't count her as one of my dogs. She is one of my dogs, but she wasn't my first dog. Rocky was, and yeah, I feel like I need to kind of talk about it, like how I'm feeling, because I'm starting to feel a bit better, but at the same time, he he's not here. Um, yeah, this is hard. But this is kind of why I started this show, was to talk about hard things that not many people talk about. Um, he was a racing dog. He was an ex-racer. When we got him, he was just about to turn 5. So when he went, he would have been. It was just before his 12th birthday. His 12th birthday. Yeah, he was a great guy. He used to come hill walking with me. We used to go up the moors together. I've still got his collar, so my plan is with his collar is to go to Build-A-Bear and to get him stuck in put him in a raccoon, because just like a raccoon, Rocky was an absolute trash panda. When we first got him, he was a constant wee bin raider. I say wee, he's the size of a horse, but uh, yeah, he was one of the best fucking dogs I have ever had, and I've only had 3, but definitely one of the best. He was my best mate, and I miss him. I'm going to get by. Bud's obviously still here, and so's Lily. But there's a big section of the couch that's not been touched because that was Rocky's space. See, this is the thing. Like I know this is part of my job. Like losing people I can handle. Dogs, apparently not. I'm more of a dog person, if I'm honest. But shit happens, and he had a good life. Looked after him. He had a great working life as well. The guys at Pets at Home, um, or the pet shops that I'm used to work in. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So that's why I've not put the show up, because I've been kind of trying to get my head around how I'm going to talk about this and everything. Do I feel guilty of what? Nope. Like I did the best thing for him. Do I feel upset about it? 100% because I've lost a member of my family. But we'll get by. The dogs, you can tell the dogs miss him. Everybody else in the house misses him, but we couldn't let him go on any longer the way he was going. But he'll be with us up here and in here. But yeah, that's just shit that's happened with me this month. That's how I've not really put a show up, because I've been trying to deal with my head, how I'm going to deal with all of this, and just kind of keep myself distracted for a bit. For the upcoming show for November, I have a plan of. Remember when I first started this show in September 2020? My original plan was to go up. I mentioned this a few times. Was to go up Ben Lomond as my initial number 1 of the show. We ended up doing the Cobbler. So if you've not listened to that one, you should go listen to that one. It's on YouTube and Spotify. So my plan is, with the boys from the ward, we are going to go up Ben Lomond on at the end of October. Hopefully it'll be quiet because we're doing it on a Wednesday. So I know doing it on a weekend is hit and miss, but it's October and it's on a weekday, so hopefully it'll be a bit quieter and we get some good views. That's going to be my next show. I might even be able to get some of the guys on to talk about it and talk about the route that we took and getting up there and what they thought of it. Sorry, this one's been a bit of a downer of a show, but this is the ups and downs of mental health and the shit that we need to talk about rather than keeping it all bottled up. So this is more of a reality check. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope you are looking forward to hearing about my story of being up Ben Lomond. And also, in fact, I might even have a chance to talk about my very first scout camp that I've arranged myself with Alan. We were doing a night hike through the Greenock Cut to Everton and staying over. So I'll have a lot of stuff to talk about next month. Hopefully be a bit more upbeat and a bit less coffee. Thanks for listening, and I hope everybody gets out in the hills and clears your heads and do what you need to do to try and sort out your noggins. I'll see you later, and thanks for listening. Bye!